TD and Dr. Joe Carey.
I welcome this opportunity to speak in opposition to this bill. The rural activity of government-regulated hare coursing and the Irish Coursing Club have been persistently condemned by the proposer of this piece of legislation and by anti-coursing groups. The points made and remade over and over again by the anti-coursing lobby are based on misinformation and fabrication. Regulated coursing is managed under the auspices of the Irish Coursing Club, which is a central authority for more than 80 local coursing clubs throughout the country. In my own county of County Clare, there are 6 coursing meetings held in clubs in Liscannor, Ennis, Clarecastle, Miltown Malbay, Kilrush, Killimer, South Clare, Incura Clare and Traderee. These County Clare clubs, together with the other 74 nationwide coursing clubs, hold meetings on an annual basis, typically over a 2-day period. Coursing is supervised by the National Parks and Wildlife Service and monitored by the Department of Agriculture, and is regulated under the Animal Welfare Act 2013, the Open Seasons Order 2015, the Wildlife Act 1976, the 26 conditions attached to the licence issued annually by the Department of Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, and rules of the Irish Coursing Club as well. Hares are caught in the wild several weeks ahead of coursing events. During this time, the hares live in purpose-built hare parks where they are fed and cared for. Contrary to what anti-coursing groups claim, hares that are pregnant, hares that are nursing their young, or are sick or injured, are absolutely not used for coursing, and this is made explicit in the licence, in the conditions as set out by the department. Muzzles were introduced into coursing events in 1993. Regulated coursing events consist of 2 muzzled greyhounds released simultaneously to chase a hare for about 20 seconds until the hare reaches a deliberately designed escape hatch. Killing or mauling of the hare is not the purpose of regulated coursing. Hare coursing has changed positively over the last number of years. One very good measure of the change is the actual number of hares returned to the wild after coursing events. For the 2015-2016 coursing season, reports demonstrate that 99.33% of hares were returned to the wild after coursing. That number stood at 85% in 1992, prior to muzzling, which represented significant improvement. This fact is backed up by the 2007 hare population survey commissioned by the then Department of Environment, Heritage and Local Government to Quircus, an independent environmental research unit based at the University Hospital or University in Belfast. The survey calculated that the total hare population in the Republic of Ireland to be 565,000. The 5,348 hares netted in the 2015-16 season represents less than 1% of this total. I have an interest in greyhounds, racing myself and coursing. My father continues to be involved in greyhounds, having taken an interest in them from a young age, while there is a strong tradition of greyhounds in my late mother's family as well. One of my earliest memories is of when I was young. I was travelling to Miltown Malbay in the back of a car with 2 fawn greyhounds, and we're going to a trial in Miltown Malbay. County Clare and Clarecastle, my own village, has a deep association with greyhound racing, both on the track and in the field. The late Paddy Darcy of Ennis bred Bypass Byway, the winner of the 2002 Irish Greyhound Derby, and his yard is just a stone's throw away from my house. Jerry, the stud Maloney, we call him, he's from Ballochboy in Ennis. He bred the winner of the 2013 English Greyhound Derby. Sidaz Jack was his name. While the Maloney family of Lissan in Clarecastle, they also owned and trained the great Danner's Best, who won the Coursing Derby in 2003. The year previous to that, Murty's Gang won the Coursing Derby for Clarecastle's ATM syndicate, with the dog being bred and reared by the Gallery family in Ennis. Coursing people go through their lives hoping to have a runner at the national meeting in Clonmel. For some, this dream comes true, but unfortunately, some people never get the opportunity to see their dogs going to slips in Powerstone Park. Last year's coursing season was a very exciting one for me. I attended a lot of meetings and had some success as part of the Déisi Banner syndicate. We won the Dungarvan Bitch Trial Stake and qualified for the national meeting in Clonmel with a dark brindle bitch called Clare. She was bred and reared by a great friend of mine called Shane O'Gorman, and Shane is from Portlaw in County Waterford. He's also part of the syndicate, as is Senator Paddy Coffey, my dad Donald Carey, and my good friend from Newmarket and Fergus, Jody Halpin. Ultimately, Clare was beaten in the third round of the Oaks by the winner, Grace and Glamour. She was a very good winner. We have subsequently bred Clare to last year's Derby winner, Coolavani Bingo, and she's just had 10 pups. They're 8 weeks old. We've 5 dogs and 5 bitches, and they're a wonderfully healthy, strong litter, and please God to be making Powerstone Park in January 2018. The national meeting is attended by more than 30,000 people, 10,000 people a day over 3 days. It's a wonderful showcase for coursing and offers enthusiasts a chance to meet up and catch up every year. The national meeting gives a huge economic lift to Clonmel and its environs. And I just make the point, like, the survival of coursing is absolutely dependent on the well-being of the hare population. Without the efforts of coursing clubs throughout the country, the hare population would be without the significant layer of protection it presently enjoys from the hare husbandry initiatives afforded by coursing clubs on a 12-month basis. Kirkus, who carried out research for Queen's University Belfast, concluded that Irish hares are 18 times more abundant in areas managed by the Irish Coursing Club than at similar sites in the wider countryside. A point that is never raised by the anti-lobby is the whole area of unregulated, illegal hunting. This activity involves packs of unmuzzled dogs chasing any wildlife, sometimes livestock, for unlimited hours with the aim of killing it. Numerous Irish and EU wildlife laws are broken, including the killing of protected species like the Irish hare. Illegal, unregulated hunting is destructive to land, it's destructive to crops, it's destructive to livestock. In a well-published case in April of last year, for example, 4 individuals were arrested in County Tipperary for poaching wildlife, which involved particularly brutal practices. I'm also aware of a similar type case reported upon in West Wicklow. In general, these brutal, cruel activities take place on private lands without the permission of landowners, with total disregard for the law. Habitats are destroyed, gates left open, and no thought for the impact it has on species. On a voluntary year-round basis, local coursing clubs protect their hare preserves against illegal hunting, in conjunction with landowners, by carrying out surveillance of lands and reporting such illegal activities to the relevant authorities, such as the local wildlife ranger and An Garda Síochána. If this legislation before us this evening were to become law, illegal hunting would thrive unchecked. This has been the case in Britain since coursing was banned there, and is the case in our own country, where there isn't, say, a coursing club in existence. I'm opposing this bill and look forward to voting against it next week.
Deputy Carey.